put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, everyone. Again, with us we have this morning Miss Carina Cockbum of the IDB Trinidad. Well, she is the Trinidad and Tobago country representative, and we have with us as well Mrs. Petal Roberts, Chief Management Accountant, of the Tobago House of Assembly. Right, they're here to engage with us a conversation on the IDB Chair Fair 2023. Right, before we get into this, let me just mention, no hard questions. It's just a simple conversation, just to inform our audience on what the IDB Chair Fair 2023 is about. Yes? Right? So before we get into it, I think our viewing audience, and I included, would like to know what IDB's developing projects look like for Tobago. Well, Trinidad and Tobago. We'll start with Trinidad and Tobago first.
Sure.
Yeah.
So first, let me say good morning, Tobago. It's always wonderful to be here. Mm-hmm. The Inter-American Development Bank has been in Trinidad and Tobago for over 50 years.
Yeah.
And we work on development projects in both the public and the private sector. So we have three windows. Mm-hmm. IDB, which deals with the public sector side, where we finance large development projects with the government. The IDB Lab, which is an experimental laboratory type initiative where we invest in MSMEs, small businesses, to help them with new and innovative initiatives. And then IDB Invest, where we partner with large private sector entities to invest in development projects.
All right. So you mentioned three windows, right? Could you expand a little bit more on those windows for us?
Well, sure. I think the main footprint we have is in the public sector. In that sense, we work in the sectors of water and sanitation, energy, housing and urban development, health as well. We have a portfolio that's valued at about $467 million in Trinidad and Tobago. And on the private sector side, we have done significant work with financial institutions to help them expand their lending to new areas and to vulnerable groups. While with IDB Lab, we have invested in a number of startups which are working in innovative new areas. These might include solid waste, recycling, things that are more innovative and exploratory in nature, and we want to get them started.
Oh, these projects do sound very exciting. Thank you so much. Now that we know a little bit about our IDB, we would like to know what the THA's role in this chair fair is before we move on into the chair fair itself. So could you tell us, Mrs. Roberts, a little bit of what the THA's function is in the IDB chair fair 2023?
Well, good morning, Tobago. Good morning to Tobago Updates, and good morning to the world at large that is listening on. Firstly, let me thank the IDB for this initiative. They are the ones that reach out to us to partner with this chair fair. When we first got the invitation and we saw the theme, Fun Can Make a Difference, we decided that we'll look at the thematic areas as well and we'll align them to our divisions.
Right.
So all our divisions were excited and on board. Our role is really to showcase what the Tobago House of Assembly is doing in terms of the thematic areas. We have digital transformation, we have health, we have housing, we have climate change, and those areas. So we did, from the get-go, we just, said, yes, we are on with this. The Chief Secretary also wanted us to expedite with excellence and efficiency. So that was my mandate. That was my role in this, coordinating the entire event with the divisions of the Tobago House of Assembly to ensure that we showcase what we can offer in these thematic areas.
Right, so we see the partnership between IDB and THA.
Yes, it is very important actually, because the IDB to us as a leading development bank in Latin America and the Caribbean, they also have done a lot of work with us in terms of capacity building, financing, and so forth. So this is just to embrace and to foster a better relationship with the IDB, you know, partnering with them for Chair Fair 2023.
And we see even besides the Chair Fair, the IDB's 3 windows, the divisions can also partner in that aspect.
Definitely, definitely.
Right. So moving on into the exciting part of this, that was exciting, mind you, but the more exciting part is what we are here to hear about today. That is the Chair Fair 2023. So we'll start off. Ms. Cockbum, sorry. You can tell us a little bit of what to expect from our Chair Fair and what it is.
Sure. So Chair Fair began 6 years ago because we thought at the IDB that there are many people who don't really understand our mandate and the work that we're doing in the country, even though it impacts and benefits them directly.
Right.
So we decided that what we really need to do is to go out to speak to citizens at the community level, meet them where they are, and speak to them in a more engaging, interactive way than we would at a conference or making a speech. And so we began by devising this event, which is about explaining the work of the Inter-American Development Bank to improve the lives of citizens of Trinidad and Tobago.
Right.
And we engage with the local government authorities in order to put on the event.
Right.
So we have been to several locations in Trinidad. We've been to Arima, we've been to San Fernando, we've been to Chaguanas. And during the pandemic, we continued to host it online as a summer camp.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, we're super excited, absolutely excited to come to Tobago for the first time with Chair Fair.
Welcome to Tobago with the Chair Fair.
And you know, the theme, as Mrs. Roberts mentioned, is fun can make a difference. And we do believe that. Mm-hmm. It's super informal, no speeches will be there. There'll be no formalities. It's about engaging with the IDB and our partners. We'll be there in black shirts, not this shirt,
right,
but some other black shirts that we have. And the idea is, you know, come and talk to us, ask us questions about the work, learn something, bring your family, and really come out and have fun with us this afternoon.
So if I see Ms. Cockbum at this event, I could walk up to you and ask you questions?
Yeah, say, Carina, I want to know about the work that you've been doing in Tobago. I mean, we have been doing quite a lot of work here, not just in Trinidad. We have supported the construction of wastewater treatment plants here and the rehabilitation of those. We are supporting the Riseland housing development. We are working in health. TT Moves is here. It has a bus here that was financed under an IDB project. We're working with TEMA. We're working on training and capacity building for PPPs and on statistics. I mean, there's a lot of work we do in Tobago.
A lot of work, and I see a lot of partnerships.
Yes,
I love to hear this. Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And Mrs. Roberts, my bad, is it possible for me to walk up to you in this fair for you to give me information on what the THA has partnered with the IDB to do?
Most definitely, as Carina says, it's a cheery event. It's not, as she said, it's not, I wouldn't say structured. Right. It's not one where you feel like the executive and this or the people that are in charge and organizing the event. We are all part of Chair Fair. We will be all dressed down as well. The THA is very open to hear what the youths want to learn.
Yes.
And it would be very interactive. Lots of games, lots of sessions. We have a division that wants to construct a little roadway so we can look at traffic management.
Right.
We have the animation studio, ePixel from under EdCut. They will be there to showcase what they've been doing. They've been doing a lot of work in Tobago in terms of reels and that animation and creativity aspect. A lot of people does not know what Tobago has to offer, and this is an excellent opportunity for Tobago to showcase what we have been doing in the thematic areas that are very important for Tobago, for the globe, and for the IDB.
This is very nice to hear. So informally, I could now come and have a conversation with you all, yes, and I get the explanation on what Tobago has to offer in terms of the Chair Fair and the stuff being done through IDB. Yes, right. So, question to Miss Cockbum. We know that you all had the chair fair last year in Sugarwaners. Yes, I read a little bit on that. It seemed very fun. Loved the article as well. Could you tell us why you all do it annually and
Yeah.
not every term or you know?
Right. Well, it takes a lot of effort to do chair fair.
Right.
It's something that we have to think about carefully. It's not going to be just handing out pamphlets. Also, the IDB has a digital transformation focus in Trinidad and Tobago, and so we always try to find a venue that has Wi-Fi connectivity that will be available today. The signal will be boosted
Love to
by
hear it.
B Mobile
Continue.
today. Because a lot of what we want to discuss is how can we better deliver services using technology and leveraging digital tools. And so that will also be part of the event. So it takes quite a lot of effort and investment to mobilize, and we want to do it well.
Right.
You know?
So we want good execution for the event.
Absolutely.
So-
and it's supposed to be fun, but behind the fun is
Learning.
and meaning as well.
Right.
And that takes planning and execution.
Yes, I would imagine. This sounds like a very big thing, right? Could you explain to us a little bit of the theme that has been chosen?
Yeah.
Could you remind us of what the theme is
Sure.
and
So
how it was chosen?
So every year it's called Fun Can Make a Difference. We have been engaged for several weeks now in conversations with the THA and its divisions about how to make the interactions very engaging, gamify some of the interactions, make them interesting. There will be prizes, there will be surprises, there will be awards and rewards for visiting all of the booths and being able to talk about what you learned there, and lots of activities for kids and young people as well. So I think that it's something that the whole family should come out to do. It's from 1 to 5 at the Esplanade, right across the road. And you can't miss it. You know, as you pass by, anybody will be able to just walk in and be a part of Chair Fair.
So we cannot miss the IDB Chair Fair 2023.
No, this is important. I think just come and spend an hour with us this afternoon. You won't regret it.
Love to hear it. All right, so we'll hear a little bit more about that after our break. So we're taking a little break. And let me remind our viewers to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
And
Good
we are
morning,
back.
morning.
We are having a conversation for those of you just joining us with Miss Carina Cockbum, IDB Trinidad and Tobago Country Representative, and Mrs. Petal Roberts, Chief Management Accountant of the Tobago House of Assembly. You all were just telling me about the theme of the Chair Fair 2023. It is fun.
Can make a difference.
Fun can make a difference. This is the theme every year, and you continue with the theme this year, but we're doing it in Tobago, right? Let us continue by you telling me a little bit of the special projects that you all will be bringing to Tobago besides the Chair Fair. Is there anything else that the IDB will be bringing to us?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll mention 2 areas. One is that we do collaborate quite a bit with .cat and also the Tobago Hotel Association and Tobago Hotel and Tourism Association. We've done quite a lot of capacity building for the association's members in how to better market their product and how to promote themselves as boutique hotels for those who are in that segment. And we have also done an analysis of their digital readiness and provided training in that regard. Also, I'd like to mention the Blue Economy cluster that we work with. They will be exhibiting today at Chair Fair.
Okay.
We, about a year and a half ago, we announced a call for proposals where we made grants to small businesses working in the blue economy to promote new products or to help them bring to market new products. So it might be new beauty products based on the marine environment. It might be tour guides. It could be other initiatives that have to do with the sea and the ocean. And so we provided grants of 10,000 US or more to each of these entities to help launch their products. And they'll be there exhibiting today and showing some of what they've come up with.
Okay, all right. So thank you for that. Well, we know that the THA's role would not only be in the Chair Fair 2023, but it would also have other roles in projects that the IDB will be bringing to Tobago, as you would have mentioned, right? You mentioned capacity training. Yes, so I'll ask Ms. Petal and Robert to just give us a little bit more on that. What is the THA's partnership going to help with in that regard?
Okay, so as you know, the THA is more service driven, and the people are very important. We collaborate and we work with the public mostly, and even within, ourselves, among ourselves as colleagues and workers in the Tobago House of Assembly. So recently, we have asked the IDB to provide training for us, capacity building, and they have said, okay, we can provide strategic planning, procurement. We have a new procurement legislation. So it's an opportunity for us to understand what the legislation says at a grassroots level, because I know the IDB had a major role in the whole establishment and the development of the legislation. So they will come and they will explain to the Tobago House of Assembly, every single person, what this legislation is about, all the different clauses, bring it right down to a level, and also forward reporting. So we are looking forward to that capacity building. Yes, they are doing a lot of projects on the outside to build Tobago, but building the people to us is very important. So we want to capitalize on that with the IDB. So as soon as we finish Chair Fair, we would start planning for the new fiscal period for these training exercises with the IDB.
You said as soon as you finish the Chair Fair. So is there a possibility of this information being released in the Chair Fair itself? Like we'll have an introduction to it? Because
Chair Fair is so cheery and enlightening, we do not want to bring that there. We really want to showcase what not only the THA, but we have private stakeholders as well. So this is not the forum. However, we'll use this opportunity to say what we will be doing with the IDB and what we would like the IDB to offer to the Tobago House of Assembly to build our people to make this island the greatest little island on the planet.
Okay. So we're having fun first, and then we'll go into the more serious matters.
Yes.
All right. So, Ms. Cockbum, what will make this Chair Fair different from the other ones that you've had before? Because you're coming to Tobago for the first time. So what exciting ventures are you going to add or maybe continue from the Chair Fairs that you've had in the past?
Sure. So this is the first Chair Fair in Tobago, but the IDB is no stranger to Tobago, as you have been hearing, and we will be returning to provide development assistance and support as part of our mandate. I think the first thing I want to mention is just how enthusiastic and engaged the Tobago House of Assembly and its divisions have been, and that alone is going to make this Chair Fair quite unique and different. Also, there are two very interesting and important features that I'd like to share with the viewers. One is that we treat Chair Fair as a sustainability event. We discourage the use of plastic bottles. We all know that this is impacting the environment, particularly the oceans and the blue economy and the rivers and waterways. And so we want to reduce the use of plastic by providing water available to the patrons free of cost. And actually there'll be a tracker at the hydro station, it's called, which shows how many plastic bottles we're able to save during this event.
Wow. Okay.
So I challenge Tobago and all of the attendees to bring with you your reusable receptacles to drink and receive water. This will be available for you, so you'll be refreshed and you'll be able to see how many plastic bottles we're able to save in just one day.
All right.
Very important. Finally, we also have a special initiative, the first time at this Chair Fair Tobago, which is to collect sanitary products. What many people don't know is that there is a real challenge for women and girls with accessing sanitary products because of the expense. And we have found that over 70% of women and girls in Trinidad and Tobago have reported that they find it challenging to purchase these products on a monthly basis. And so we're inviting patrons to join the IDB in contributing to this cause. And this means bringing unopened packages of, tampons, pads, etc., other sanitary products to contribute to women and girls who really need this assistance. Because this is part of life.
Yes.
We need to demystify it. There's nothing shameful about it. And we need to make sure that every woman and girl in this country has access to those products.
Thank you. Well, I was about to ask if Chairfair is open to the public, but I got my answer.
Yes, free
for
There's
everyone.
no charge to be there.
So Chairfair is free and open to the public.
Yeah.
We are also asked to contribute sanitary napkins and these type of things to the Chairfair so that we could help others in need. Yes. So you mentioned it once, but I want you to tell them, right? Because in Tobago, we try to keep to our time. And we're going to try to keep to that for the Chairfair in 2023, right? So tell us, what time should we start bringing, they should start bringing their children to the Esplanade, to take part in some of the activities.
Listen, you want to be there on time at 1 o'clock? There isn't a gate, but the event itself will be open at 1. And we're going straight through to 5. There will be aerobics classes. They'll be able to do face painting. There'll be finger painting as well. They'll contribute to a mural, which we will be creating. And that will become a permanent part of Tobago because we'll hand that over at the end of the event. There are going to be lots of prizes, lots of interactive activities. So come early and get the most out of the event.
All right. So we have a lot for the children. Do we have anything for the parents?
Of course. Absolutely. I think that those who want to learn more about digitalization and technology should come along and learn something. As Mrs. Roberts mentioned, there'll be lots of activities hosted by the Tobago House of Assembly. In particular, the Division of Finance is going to have a very elaborate game about financial management, and we will have many banks and financial institutions there to guide you on budgeting, saving, and how to access mortgages and things like that. So that's going to be very important as you seek to advance your family and develop your or access better economic benefits for you and your family.
Yes. So I'm starting to see where you really needed the time to plan Chairfair. Yes, annually, right? So as we're wrapping up, I'll ask Ms. Roberts one more question. Could you tell us a little bit of what we can expect from the THA? Because we've heard where the IDB is going to bring their activities and stuff for the children, of course, some things for the adults. What is THA's role? What would you be bringing to the Chairfair?
Well, as I said, all thematic areas, all the divisions are included. Every single division, from finance, food security, tourism, community development, health, settlements, all our divisions are on board. We also have TIMA, the Tobago Emergency Management Agency, under the Office of the Chief Secretary. They are bringing their mobile command unit so that persons can have a little tour and understand why we have this mobile command unit. Just in case we have a major catastrophe in Tobago, you can learn about this equipment. Also, they have had some equipment donated from a company in Australia, and those will be on display. So they are very out-of-the-box things that persons don't normally see, right? We'll have a cultural explosion throughout the entire event from start to finish. You'll see figures and cultural icons throughout the event, like, your old-time wedding actors. You have the Dame Lorraine, you have the gorillas. Throughout the event, music, you have drumming, things that are very indigenous to Tobago. As Carina also said, we have an aerobics burnout. That's our final event. So those persons who want after work to come down and do a little workout, you can join us. It would be very enlightening, exciting, and interactive.
I want to mention one more thing as well, if I may, about health. You mentioned health, super important. As many of us might know, Trinidad and Tobago has a major challenge with obesity and persons being overweight. And this has led to an unprecedented level of non-communicable diseases like diabetes and hypertension. And so one of the things that will be offered at the event is the opportunity to test your numbers, do a health check, and get some advice on nutritious, healthy food options. And so this is going to be a very important part of the event. We partner very closely with the Ministry of Health, and the TT Moves campaign is financed under an IDB project. And so they will be there as well, along with the TT Moves officials and the bus.
So we have a lot to look forward to at the Chair Fair 2023. Thank you so much, Mrs. Petal Roberts and Miss Carina Cockbum, for joining us here this morning to tell us a little bit about that. We'll see you guys at the Chair Fair 2023 on the Esplanade at 1 p.m. sharp.
Yes.
Right? Thank you so much. Thank you, viewers, for looking on. And we encourage you to share the live, share the live, share the live.